Hello, welcome back. Today I thought I should do a video about the My BMW app and what you can control with the app and what information you can find inside the app. I will also demonstrate what happens when you have the interior camera and someone tries to steal your car and the alarm goes off. So enjoy this video and please subscribe and follow for more videos. First of all, you got an overview of the car. So if everything is okay, it says all good and you get an actual reflection of how exactly your car looks with the correct rims, colors, etc. And if you have more than one BMW, you can go up here and you can change to another car. So if I, for instance, choose my other car, which is a M440i convertible, I get the same overview there. And as you see, the color theme of the app changes according to the color of the car. So now I got the green background. And if I then go back to my iX1, I get the gray background. And the first thing you see is the state of charge. I have 71% left in the battery, and that will give me a range of 237 kilometers. And then you can press check status, and you can see if everything is locked or if something is open. And once again, you see all the details. For instance, I have tinted windows, which shows on the image. And here you can also lock and unlock the car, but more about that later. You can also go in and check control messages. Now I see the pressure in each tire and if everything is okay. I can also go into a detailed view, and then I can see the car from all different four sides with the correct tire pressure. And once again, the image even shows that I have a tow bar on my car. So very detailed, very nice graphics. If I then go back, I can check under service if I have some maintenance to do. But what's more interesting here now is that you can also see the status of the remote software upgrade here. So if I press remote software upgrade, I can see what version I have and also information about that version. Then if we go further down on the screen, I can see where my car is on the map, and to help me locate it, or maybe I have it on the workshop or something, and I want to see where they are taking the car, I can go into here. Then you get a lot of statistics about your trips. So first of all, you got an overview of the actual months, how many kilometers you have driven each day. And then if I press trip statistics, I can see my average consumption every day. And you can also see it as a curve. You can also see the distance every day and how it increases during the months. Then if you look below the diagram, you can see that you have all trips. And if I go in there, I can see a list of all my recent trips that I have done with the car for every month. And you can then press last trip, then you get more details, how long it took, the actual consumption, how many kilowatt hours you used, and the average speed, and also a map overview. You can also down in the bottom see what your charge was when you started the route and what the charge was when you arrived. And this you can find for all your trips under the all trips. So if we go a bit further down and look for a longer trip, I can here see some more statistics about that. How long it took, average speed, consumption, 25 kilowatt hours used, and the actual distance, of course, and then of course the map. And further down, the start battery level 100%, and when I arrived I had 59%. Then a little bit longer down you have electromobility, where you can change your charge and climate settings. So if I press charge climate settings, you can see that I have charging mode, charge immediately, precondition for departure time on, etc, etc. And then you can go in under each headline, press the edit, and change whatever settings you want to have. And especially useful is of course that you can set departure times. Then if you have automatic climate control activated, it starts to preheat or pre-cool the car regardless of whether or not it has been plugged in. And then you can set an individual time, next departure time only, or you can set a schedule for with 3 different times for each week or every week. And when you have set all the settings, you press below update in My BMW and everything is sent to your car. You also have charging settings, and the most useful is charging target, which I normally have on 80%, but if I want to go for a longer trip or something, I increase it to 100%, and then of course it's very convenient to do it in the app instead of go down to the garage and set it inside the car. And you can also set other different charging settings. You can also see your charging history. So here you actually see all the times the car are plugged in, and you can see how many kilowatt hours, where it was charged, and etc. So you can get a lot of statistics out of the app. Then under view all on electromobility, you get an overview where you can see your charging plan. You can change the settings that we saw before. You can also, if you are on the road and want to charge, and there's a need to activate the charger by a QR code, then you use this scan and charge and use your telephone as a scanner and scan the QR code on the charger. And you can here also find charging stations, but I explain more about that also later. And then a lot of the old information that we saw before you can also find here. Then you get the information about your dealer if you need to contact them. If something happens, maybe you want to call to schedule a service appointment or something. And then in the bottom you get information about the total mileage of your car. You can see remote history. It means all the actions sent to your car. You can also get a log of that with the history. You can also get some information about your digital key and devices connected to the car. And you also have the driver's guide here. So if you need some information on the car, you find everything here with animations and tips about how to use the car and other useful information. You can also, of course, send commands to the car to let it do certain things. For instance, if you want to unlock the car, you press the unlock button and confirm with Face ID or whatever you have on your phone. And after a short while, you get the confirmation that it's sent to the vehicle. Then, of course, you can do the opposite and lock the car, and the same again. Take some time, and then you get the confirmation. Another thing is that if you have problem to find your car, you can send signals, either with the horn, and you press the horn button, and then after a while the horn will sound on the car once. And if you want to not to wake up the whole neighborhood, you can also send light signal, and then you send a command for a flash. And after a while the car headlight flashes twice. This can help you find a car in a parking lot or wherever you have maybe lost it. If you want to precondition the car, you can of course do that. Then you press the fan and start. And the app sends the command to the car. And after a while you get the confirmation. And it also says that it will run it for 30 minutes. You also get an animation with red waves for heating and blue waves for cooling on the actual car. And also an animated fan while it's running. And then if you want to stop it before the 30 minutes, you press the fan and stop. And after a while you get the new confirmation that everything is stopped, and then the animated fan also stops and the car goes back to all good. If you want to activate the interior camera manually, you press the remote camera, update view, and then the app wakes up the car, takes the photo, and then after a while starts downloading the photo to your telephone. So you can see what's happening inside the car. And when the picture arrives, you can expand it, and if you flip the phone you get it all over the screen, and you can zoom in and see more details. You can also press details and see when and where the photo was taken. And if you then go back, you get a list of all earlier recordings, if you want to check out some previous recordings. When an alarm goes off in the car, you get a notification sent to your telephone. And then you can go into the message center and activate the latest message, which is your alarm. And then you can press check recording, and you press the picture on the top, and it starts downloading another image of the theft attempt. And once again you get the picture what's happening inside the car. You can press details and see where and when. And this can be really helpful if it's a false alarm or an active alarm. You also have a very good tool to plan your trips with the map overview. So when I go into the map overview, I can find charging stations in the near area. Or I can find parking places also in the near area where the car is parked. or wherever I want to search for it. And then if I want to plan a trip, I type in where I want to go. So maybe now I want to go to Örebro, Conventum. If you then open up the bottom part here, you can find some information about location in TripAdvisor. You can send it to your BMW. Then you press this button and the address is sent to your car and arrives as a message in the car when you start it. And then it automatically starts the navigation. And if you press view route, you get the plan of the route from where you are located now and to the location you entered. And you can see how long it takes, how long the distance is. And if you open the bottom part here, you can see also the charging state when you arrive. So you can see that I start with 71% and I arrive with 40%. And then you have a lot of options when you plan here. You can maybe if you decide that you later on want to charge the battery fully, you can change this here and says that no, I will have 100% when I start. And then it recalculates everything. And maybe I want to set that I want to have 20% when I arrive at the charging station, and I want to have minimum 20% when I arrive. And then it recalculates everything. And if we go back and make a longer trip, this makes more sense. So now I plan a trip to Gothenburg Landvetter Airport. I can see it down here that it's out of range, which means that I have to stop in order to charge the car on the way there. So when I go into view route, I change some settings here that I start with maybe 80%. I want to have minimum 20% at the charging station, and I also want to have 20% on arrival. And then the app starts to recalculate everything, and I see if I start now, I have to stop for a charge stop for 35 minutes, which takes the car from 33% up to 90%. And I will then arrive with 22%. So here you can get the total driving time to the target, including charging stops. And of course, you see also the charging stop on the map overview. And you can also change the departure time. So maybe you want to plan this trip for tomorrow. Then I can go and change this to Friday. And I say that I want to start driving at 10 a.m. instead. Press select. And it recalculates the trip here that it starts at 10, and I will arrive including charging stop at 15:19, which means 3 p.m. 19. And then of course if you press send here, it sends the final destination to your car, so you can continue the guidance in the car. So a lot of useful planning options and a lot of information to find, and which will be really helpful especially for an EV. And you can also find more information about your target, which with nearest parking or nearest charging places. So all in all, very good function. Then you have some other information. This one is news from BMW. And this one gives you an overview of your service packages. You can buy service packages. You can also go to the BMW store and buy upgrades for your vehicles. For instance, the speed camera warning you can buy here. And then the last one is only information about your account and personal details. So I hope you got some useful information out of this, which can help you to use the app, and also for you who are planning to buy the car, you can see how it functions. I've had several cars with these types of apps, and they normally function very bad. They don't connect, or they don't send all the functions, etc. The worst was my previous Audi. It was terrible. It never worked. This app is not perfect. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to send the commands, but it depends very much on the reception for the mobile network. But in most of the cases it works, and it works really good, I must say. So enjoy this and see you in the next video.